Morning, children. Tricky Word Tuesday again. Today we're going to have a look at 3 words that have the same sound in the middle. So, first one, we've already done this one, but I just wanted to remind you of it. Out. Now you can see it's got an ow sound in it and then a t at the end. Out. So it can be sounded out, but we'd like you to remember it as a whole word. So when you're reading a book, you don't have to go out. You can just remember out, and it will make your reading much easier. Okay, later on, see if you can write that word from your memory. Now I'm going to show you the second word. This word has the same sound in it. About. About. It's not 2 words, it's just 1 word. It has an a at the beginning and bout. About. It means the meaning of something or what's in it. So a story about something. What's in it? About. So it has a and a b, then the ow sound, and last of all, t. Okay. Have a good look at that. See if you can remember it. And at the end of the video, see if you can write it down. About. The last word today is house. Now, house also has the owl sound in it. So it's a h first, then the owl sound, then a s. And last of all, there's an e. But we don't say house e, do we? We just say house. And then we need to know in our heads that there is an e at the end that doesn't make any sound. Now, today, what I've done is I found a story, which I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to read some. And I'd like you to think carefully about some of the words in it. But then I'm going to show you some, and I want you to check out how many of this word you can find on the page. So I'm going to tell you a story about, and we'll just move the camera over here, about the mice who lived in a shoe by Rodney Pepe. Maybe we can look really closely at these words. This is a story about a shoe. And the family of mice who lived in it. And then it gives you the names of all the mice who live in it. So there's Pa and Ma and Grandpa and Grandma, Tim, Anne, Mick, Sue, Mary and Pip. When it rained, they got wet. When it snowed, they got cold. When the sun shone, they got hot. When the wind blew, they flew all over the place. I can see them hanging on to the shoelace there. But the worst thing of all was when the cat put his paw into the shoe and stretched out his claws. The family huddled together at the toe end for safety. They all squeaked until the cat went away. I like all these different colour speech bubbles with eek in for the squeaking. When they were sure the cat had gone, they gathered around Ma in the dark. The only way to be safe from the cat and to shelter from the weather, said Pa, is to build a house. Pa asked everyone to draw their dream house. There are lots of pictures that the mice drew for their plans for a house. Now I want you to look really carefully as I read this page, because I want you to maybe pause the video after this and find out how many times you can find the word house. There was a big house, a small house, a short house, a tall house, a fat house, a thin house, a long house, a red house, a blue house, and a green house. Here's Pa looking and planning. Pa looked at them carefully to see who had the best ideas, and then he drew their dream house. Okay, children, now we've read that part of the story, and I would like you to find how many times you can find the word house in that story. And also, another thing you can do is to get one of your storybooks that has some words in it, and I want you to see how many tricky words you can find in the book. Not just house and about and out, but lots of the other tricky words that we've done, like maybe you could find said, or maybe to, or maybe what. Depends on the book. See how many words you can find. I'll see you next time. Bye.